roll tide, but yeah.
Hey, hey, what up, what up, what up?
Soft was
A type voice creation.
Hey, roll tide back, yeah, we ride from the dust. Go stepped out, they were praying we bust. 10 wins later and we still in the hunt. SEC title game, yeah, we back up front. They said we dead, but the tide don't drown. We reload quick, hold, stay, hold it down. Tuscaloosa build different legends in the clay. Haters talk loud, but they never won't play. First round here, let the world in the trance. Mouth wide open like they caught in the stands. Thought we were broken, thought we were done. And the tide rolled in and the scoreboard spun. Mind left blank, whole crowd in the freeze. We do what we do, make giants to their knees. Haters pray hard for the tide to fall flat, but the tide rolls up. Now imagine that. Now imagine that. But the tide rolls up. Yeah, we the school with the rings, with the Lord with the crown. Walk in the room and the whole place bound. From Brian to Saban, the dynasty life. New era, ain't smoke, we forever gon' thrive. We built on grit, on blood, on pride. On Saturdays, the host I ride with the tide. Haters wanna doubt, but they never learn enough. Alabama football, we invented tough. Hey, hater, what up? Why you looking so stressed? Your team on vacation, we're still getting blessed. You scrolling through your phone, trying to find who to blame. Yeah, but your squad tapped out, they ain't built for the game. Yeah. You talk about next year, talk about next team. But the tide in your head like a permanent dream. Fix your buzzer, Roger, fix your we look crook of the tide. Ain't worried, we do what we do. We shock the world once, we shock it again. Every season, reload, every season we win. You can hope, you can pray, you can wish for our fall. But the tide roll heavy, we don't listen at all. We the standard, the blueprint, the code. Every hate in the south know the legend we wrote. So keep talking that talk, keep hoping we slip. But the tide stay ready, hold stay, don't drip. Hold stay, don't drip. Why you mad we back up? What up? Get 'em broke time. Why you mad we back up? What up? Get 'em broke time. But the tide just showed up. What up? Get 'em broke time. You were praying we fold up. But the tide done showed up. Now the whole damn south done blowed up. What up?
Jeremy Matthews, Roll Tide, Prayers, Missouri. Yes, running back Ahmad Hardy, who was shout out this weekend, man. Y'all be careful. Hate to tell people not to go home, but did I tell you a story about a guy named Jesus who went home? Nah, anyway. Now speaking of fast wide receivers who move really fast, want to talk briefly about a man who, in prayers, like I said, prayers to Ahmad Hardy. I think he's gonna be okay. I guess I don't know if he'll be able to play, but he'll be okay. But we want to talk about a man who took his talents from Tuscaloosa to Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, we love the Steelers around here. We love the Steelers. Where's my thing at? We love the Steelers around here. You know, we want to talk about Jeremy Bernard because, you know, Jeremy Bernard is our guy. He's our guy. Jeremy Bernard was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the second round, 47 overall. And after they traded up that shit, they got that man. At least that's what it looked like. I hope that's actually what happened. But anyway, he's there now, and they are singing his praises. And he is the first Alabama player not coached by Nick Saban to be drafted since 2007. Let that sink in. We're coming to the very, very, very end of the era. Let it sink in. He's the first one. That's both a testament to what the board has built and a reminder of how rare it is to carry that tradition forward. I mean, I don't know if we got anybody else left, but Coach Mike McCarthy said at his media availability thing, and I'm not paraphrasing, I'm giving you the essence of what he says. You know, he said that football comes easy to Jeremy Bernard, and that his understanding is very high, that he does not blink, and he loves his demeanor, and that his versatility carries over. Those are not obligatory rookie compliments. Those are words of a coach, man, who saw something in 2 days of rookie minicamp that confirmed exactly what he traded to get. Bernard is slated to be like number 3 or 4 receiver behind Metcalf and Michael Pittman Jr. He can learn a lot from those guys. And y'all know the crazy man, Steve Smith Sr. already compared him to Deebo Samuel. Oh yeah. Now Steve Smith, he know a tough guy when he see one on that football field. Now 2 years at Alabama, 50 catches for 794 in his first year. 64 catches in 862 and 7 touchdowns in the second year. He also rushed 18 times for 101 yards with 2 more score. He was a Blitnikoff Award semifinalist. If that doggone running game had not have just went non-existent, we could have had him and Ty going to get these awards for their position. And now he's with the Steelers receiver room, getting ready to compete in an offense led by the fossil himself, Aaron Rodgers. I and Steeler Nation, and we are not pleased. But Jeremy Bernard is going to be just fine, and the Crimson Tide fans, you'll be proud of what he's becoming on the banks of that Black Warrior River. Now, with Jeremy Bernard's departure, that does remind me that the pipeline has to keep moving. And as players go into the NFL, Alabama has to reload. And when it comes to his defense, Caleb DeBoer and Kay Womack, they made some very deliberate moves in the transfer portal. This offseason, you know, I want to talk about what it's going to look like in 2026. Coach Womack spoke to the media at that Senior Bowl charity celebrity golf classic, and he was genuinely upbeat. And I want you to understand that he's not a coach who just talks for the sake of talking. The man, you know, man coaches his behind off. And when he says defense is in a good place, please listen, because many fellow fans wanted to throw this man out with the bathwater in that Tennessee game 2 years ago. And I was like, I don't think that's our problem. But he talked about the continuity that's back in. He talked about young guys pushing veterans. He talked about the defensive line having more mass, and specifically credited transfer portal for adding key pieces that gave him genuine excitement headed into the fall. There are 3 key portal additions of their defense that he talked about. He went out and got linebacker Caleb Woodson. He's probably going to be your green dot. Edge and defensive end Desmond Zulu. His name is actually Umio Zulu. I got it right that time. I forgive myself. I got it right. I had to close my eyes. I was practicing that one. But they call him Dead Zulu. And Devin Thomas. Zulu and Tompkins are they've particularly been disruptive all spring. And people are talking about them before a real game is played. And, you know, got spring transfers and making noise. You know, that only means good things come up in the fall, as long as everybody stays healthy. And I've even heard that Devin Tompkins, they're talking about that dude is top 5 defensive lineman going into the draft for next year. Top 10 in other places, depending on where you look. Now, here's why the context matters and why these additions are so critical. Alabama's biggest weakness in 2025 was pass rush. It wasn't even close. LT Overton struggled to get going. Injuries hit Q Russo early. And by the end of the year, Yanzi Pierre was the only one that was consistently getting after that doggone opposing quarterback. And that the person we had on that defense that the offensive coordinators had to prepare for an offense that prides itself on pressure, that's just unacceptable. And the Rose Bowl loss to Indiana proved that a single, rushing threat is not enough when it matters most, not even close. So Womack knows this, and the fact that he went out and got Zulu and Tompkins, and that Pierre is still returning alongside a healthier Justin Hill tells you that the staff is understands exactly what the 2026 defense needs to be. It needs to be multidimensional on the defensive line. Got to be more than one person that the opposing quarterback has to worry about. Yeah, I remember days of Curry and Copeland. Yeah, I remember it was Curry, Copeland, and then they got a Gio Toretta. It was like Curry and Copeland. Why are y'all on both sides of the same side of the field? Don't start this tonight. Yeah, they started it. They finished it too. But the returning starters in the secondary gives you confidence, but without that pass rush, selling out everything behind it, man, you got to support the guys in the back. Everybody got to work together to make this thing happen. I think we are almost there. Now, Womack said itself, there's continuity, there's excitement, and there's confidence within the group, and there's a lot of young talent rushing the veterans every single day. That's the formula, you know what I mean? And if those portal additions, particularly Zulu and Tompkins, bring in October and November what they showed in April, and the conversation about the Alabama defense in 2026 is going to be a very different one than it was the year before, and especially the one after the doggone Rose Bowl. I feel good about it. And speaking of feeling good about it, let me review a couple of these defensive portal pickups that we brought in here. First up, I want to take these guys that are important. I think they are the punter, Adam Waterford, one of the best punters in the country. He's coming up from North Alabama. I don't know if he's going to get the actual job. He's looking good, but he has the ability to flip the field instantly. The guy got a couple of 60 yarders to his credit. And hey, it don't mean nothing until you see it 4 or 5 times. Like, man, does he always kick 60 yards? No, not all the time. But when he does, it sure feel good. But punting is about control and precision, and he brings that. He can pin people deep, force fair catches, and somebody do have like a phenom back there that can run through your doggone return defense, and then give defense room to dominate, which is most importantly. We went out and got a doggone long snapper. Yeah. We got a long snapper from he's a redshirt junior from Syracuse. He actually was named as one of the best long snappers in the country. The store Coles sponsors a kicking clinic, and they give out awards. He was the best long snapper. So Caleb Boyd is leaving no stone unturned. He wants the best, man. Everything is critical, man. This guy, man, you never know. You don't miss a snapper until you miss the snapper. Till you miss the snap, and the snap is all screwed up and flying over somebody's head. We need people that can go under pressure. For Alabama, he's the foundation of the kicking and punting units. No drama, no errors, just reliable execution. Now we get into the big boys. Terrence Green, he's a problem. And now he's Alabama's problem for every offensive line in the country, hailing from the West Coast pipeline. The redshirt sophomore comes in from Oregon with something to prove and the physical tools to dominate from day one. We're talking about a defensive lineman built like a tank, man, 6'3", 300 pounds with violent hands and a high motor. They said they just can't turn him on. They said just turn the key, he's still going. I like that. Expect Green to be a rotational wrecking ball, man, with the impact of a starter. That's that rotation we're talking about. He's just not adding size, he's adding attitude. Devin Tompkins, we talked about, bringing that Pac-12 speed in, the SEC violence, into one explosive package. He's a redshirt junior out of USC. He's battle-tested, game-ready, 6'4", 295. And from what I've seen, that boy pretty lean. If he hits you with a forearm, it's going to hurt. Now, he's played against some elite competition now, because don't just think about USC. Oh, USC. Yeah, but USC had to go play some people that we had problems with. All right, that the whole conference had problems with, to be honest. So 10 years ago, I would poo-poo this. I am not poo-pooing tonight. This player, he's seen those big games, those big offensive lines, held his own. It makes him dangerous because he's versatile. He can line up inside and shade out. But, he can even stunt effectively. So he's not slow. They say he has a quick first step. He got good hand placement. And like I say, he's violent too. And he has plays with a chip on his shoulder. Tompkins is an immediate contributor, a player who can rotate in and keep the defensive front fresh. I think we had injuries, with Beamer and everything. I think we had people that just wasn't ready to step up and play to the level. And we still let me slow down. We still had a very effective defense. Our run game was their biggest problem. So, he brings maturity, physicality, and a no-nonsense edge that fits perfectly in his crimson and white. Now, Desmond Umeozulu, I'll be practicing this stuff. Anyway, Des Zulu is coming off the edge like a heat-seeking missile. He comes from over junior transfer, comes from South Carolina. He couldn't even get in the game because they had some great pass rushers. It seems like they got a great pass rushing coach over there as well. So this man has a extensive pass rush toolbox, and he's ready to unleash it for the Crimson Tide now. This man is 6'5". He has very long arms, kind of like that Will Anderson type. He scratches the back of his calf without even bleeding over. And he showed flashes at South Carolina, but it was hard to get in there because I think the guys ahead of him, they went to the NFL. So he got dominance in sacks, pressures, and backfield disruptions that forces offense to account for him on every snap. His best trait is his speed to power. He can bend the edge or drive a tackle straight back into the pocket. That's a rare combination, and it's dangerous in the SEC. That's what your quarterback don't want to see. I expect him to be a part of a relentless pass rush, third down especially. You know what I'm saying? Yanzi then him then Yanzi. He's coming to 2-meal drill. And what if you put this guy on one side and Yanzi on the other side at the same damn time? That man gonna be hunting. This is the kind of player who can swing the momentum of the game with one strip sack. Then you got Caleb Woodson. He's a sideline to sideline enforcer with a nose for the football. And he coming in from Virginia Tech. Junior linebacker brings production, intelligence, and defensive command presence. 6'2", 230. He's built for a modern defense, fast enough to cover, strong enough to stop the run. And he's smart enough to read plays where they develop. He does have a very instinctual take on the game. His stat sheet states stuff. I mean, he had high tackle numbers, consistent backfield. He had an injury last year, so he didn't play as much. And he has the ability to diagnose and react with precision. And, he doesn't play fast. He also thinks fast. That's a difference. Some people go too fast, run past people and everything, but he's pretty good. He has that, not only just some depth, I think he's going to be the leader of that linebacker room. He's going to get everyone lined up, fill those gaps with authority, and deliver hits that change drives, man. Next, you got another defensive lineman, Caleb Smith. He's a little young. He's a freshman. Don't let that fool you. The man is a physical specimen with a serious upside. And after transferring from Washington, he's roughly 6'5", 300. Got raw power that can be molded into something special. That's up to Coach Freddie Roach to get him there. He's a trench player through and through, strong at the point of contact, hard to move, and capable of eating double teams. His game's still developing, but the tools are undeniable. So he's coming in raw. He needs to be molded, and he's entering one of the best development systems in college football. I expect him to grow fast, learn fast, and contribute in the rotation. You may not see him probably to the middle of the season, because it's still people on this team from last year who are going to play, but there's going to be more. I would not be surprised to see us rotate 10 defensive linemen, even against in a Florida State game, but I think more toward the middle of the season. Got to get a lot of people in that game against Georgia. They're going to try to run the ball a lot. They want to get back to that 220, and we got to stop them. So this is the future. He's a future force in the making. I think he's going to get crafted the right way right there with Coach Freddie Roach, and he's going to be great. Kendrick Bingley Jones is another defensive lineman. He's a seasoned veteran with SEC miles, serious production, having played both at North Carolina and Mississippi State. He kind of took a step in the right direction with Mississippi State. They had a better year this year. They tripled their win counts. So 2-6 is a lot for them. And he has senior experience. He probably came able to get his payday and take his game to another level. He has toughness, and he's ready to make an impact. 6'4", 300. He's built to handle the grind. He's been through the grind, especially at Mississippi State. Probably had to take on more than he deserved. He has multiple stars. He has a lot of tackles for loss. He's a consistent interior pressure against high-level competition because, like I say, he played at Mississippi State. And before that, playing in the ACC, wasn't exactly no cakewalk. He's not flashy, but he is relentless. He does the dirty work, control the gaps, and wears down offensive lines over 4 quarters because he brings it every single play. He's out there. He's a stabilizer, and he can step in and promote. I just gave y'all 3 defensive tackles right there. And we already got a couple tackles on the team, but we lost 2, 3. We lost 3, but see, somebody transferred, 2 graduated. I just gave you 3 tackles right there that can make an impact. But this guy's going to be a player who can step in and produce, man, immediately while mentoring younger players. So I expect him to be a key piece in the rotation and a leader in the locker room. I'm telling you, they can really. I don't know about the linebackers, but the defensive line, it's going to be a great rotation. Going back to the backfield, the secondary, you got Carmelo O'Neal. He played over at Mercer. Everybody's like, we beat the crap out of Mercer. Yeah, but they noticed one thing when we played against Mercer. Whoever Carmelo O'Neal was covering, I think he was playing cornerback over there. He's playing safety for us. They didn't catch a ball against little old Mercer. Yeah, and he's a sophomore safety looking to prove that he belongs on a big stage. Plain and simple. He got the skill set to do it. 6'1", 200. The boy, Womack, they love these tall DBs. And he combines range, instincts, and hitting power. At Mercer, he just racked up a bunch of pass breakups, tackles, and turnovers, showing he had a knack for being around the ball. He plays with confidence. Even against Jeremy Bernard didn't catch nothing against this guy. He had to go somewhere else and get some breathing space. You know what I'm saying? But he plays with confidence and aggression. When he's coming down, he'll run support or drop him back in the coverage. So maybe he don't have the hips to play cornerback, or we got that covered. But this guy's going to be a good rotational piece. Who knows? He could be backing up Red Morgan. Just don't know. But he adds depth and competition to the secondary. Don't be surprised. Like I said, if you see him on special teams, he earned defensive snaps there because he is young, because he's going to need time to adjust to the speed of the SEC.
Tight. Sports. Tie. Rise. Bama blood, crimson, flood, legends talk. Walk that walk. Whisper, grind, sharp mind, every play, every day. Tuscaloosa heat, no retreat. Title shine, champions line. Coach Brian, Coach Saban, legacy blazing, never fading. Fans unite, underlay, tight sports rolls. All day, all night. Bama blood, crimson, flood, legends talk. Walk, walk. Whisper, grind, sharp mind, every play, every day. Tuscaloosa heat, no retreat. Title shine, champions line. Coach Brian, Coach Saban, legacy blazing, never fading. Fans unite, underlay, tight sports rolls. All day, all night. Bama blood, crimson, flood, legends talk. Walk day. Whisper, grind, sharp mind, every play, every day. Tuscaloosa heat, no retreat. Title shine, champions line, Coach Brian, Coach Saban, legacy blazing, never fading. Flash at night, underlight, tight sports rolls. All day, all night. Bama blood, crimson, flood, legends talk. Walk. Whisper, grind, sharp mind, every play, every day. Tuscaloosa heat,